While some of them showed their anxiety to the airing officials, others were seen pleading with them to include their name on the panel list. And some of them were even raising concerns over not getting their orders despite appearing on the panel list. It was a scene of chaos at the university. What was more shocking was the fact that even women were a part of the scam. We somehow convinced Prakash and gave him the application. Prakash went through it and then took us through the entire illegal process. Here is what he told us. By the time we finished our deal with Prakash, the registrar entered the premises. He called all the people into a meeting hall. High drama took place inside the meeting hall. He then told the people present that he would only be issuing orders to all those whose names have appeared in the panel list. All this was captured on our hidden camera. Our crew then approached the registrar again and told him to write Clerk Prakash's name instead of Joshi's. Shockingly, the registrar scratched Joshi's name on the application and wrote Prakash on the other side. He also directed our crew to meet the chairman of the English department and told us to request him to include the name of the panel list. The chairman then asked our crew about his qualifications and later told us to meet Prakash and give him the application. He also told our crew that he would speak to Prakash and do the needful.
Sir, hatra bettade sir. Avaru idu illi Joshi avara hatra kodake helidru sir. Sign madikottare sir. Joshi avaru kodi anta sir. ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ಯಾನಲ್ಗೆ ಅದು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಸರ್. ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಫೆಬ್ರವರಿಯಲ್ಲೇ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಸರ್. ಇನ್ನೂ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡಿದೆ ಸರ್. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸರ್ ಇದು ಮಾಡಿಕೊಡ್ರಿ ಸರ್. ಅವ್ರು ಜೋಶಿ ಅವರು ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಸರ್, ಸೋಮವಾರ ಏನೋ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ
ಇದು ನಿಂಬಲ್ಲಿ ಇರಲಿ. ನಾವು ಹೇಳೋದು ನಿಮಗೆ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಯೇಷನ್ನೇ ಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು ಅಂದರೆ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಯೇಷನ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾವಲ್ಲ, ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಡೇ ಬರ್ರಿ ಅಥವಾ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆದ ದಿವಸ ಬರ್ರಿ. ಆಗಿಂದಾಗ ಏನಾರ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಈಗ ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಹೋಗೋದು ಇದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಯಾವ ಕೇಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಹಾಕಲ್ಲ. ಇಂಥವು ಏನಾರು ಬಂದು ಮಾಡೋದು ಎಲ್ಲ ಇದು ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ಯದ ಇಷ್ಟು ಹಾಕಿರಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸರ್ ಏನೋ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅಂತ ಹಾಕ್ತೀವಿ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳೋದು ನಿಂಬಲ್ಲಿ ಇರಲಿ. 27 ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗೋದು 28 ಬರ್ರಿ
ಸರ್. ಅದೇ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ, ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಏನಾರು ಕೊಡ್ತೇನೆ.
ನಂಬಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲರಿ ಅವೆಲ್ಲ ಏನು ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಹಾಕಿ.
Prakash, who asked us to include his name on the application instead of Joshi's, then told us to meet the chairman of the English department again. Our crew went to meet the chairman, Apparao Tiger. He then directed us to the head of the Department of English. He also told us to sign on the application stating, "Can be considered." After this, some of the other professors in the premises approached our crew and questioned our identity. They wanted to know which college we had come from and since how long we had been working in that college. By then, the chairman had already included our crew's name in the list. We then waited for 2 long days for the chairman's phone call. We decided to call the chairman directly and ask him about the status of our order. Surprisingly, the chairman told us that the order copy had been dispatched. He also told us to collect the orders by hand at the university and told our crew to appear for the evaluation. The very next day, our crew went to the university and headed towards the examination department. On meeting Chairman Apparao Tiger, we came to know that the order copy was with Prakash. The chairman also told us to collect the order copy from Prakash and appear for the evaluation immediately. On meeting Prakash, he took out the panel list and confirmed our crew member's name in it. He also told us that it was all because of his efforts that our crew member's name had appeared in the list finally. He then gave us the order copy. And collected 1,000 rupees from our crew member. This was no surprise, as we were expecting it. Yes, this is the current state of one of the esteemed universities of our state today. Though the department has all the powers to keep a strict vigil, nothing has been done till now. Even a normal man can appear for the evaluation, though he is not qualified enough. Our crew member did not appear for the evaluation, keeping in mind the future of many students. Our aim was to expose the irregularities happening in the university. With this expose, it is now revealed how the evaluation is being carried out, at least in Gulbarga University. It is now time for the education department to wake up and take necessary action against the errant officials. Sidhu Brother for News9, Raichur. Look before you leap, a saying that perfectly fits the story that we are about to show you. Everybody commits mistakes, but committing a mistake despite knowing its outcome is sure stupidity, and in this case, it's the way you pay for your sins.
Tumkur today is one of the fastest growing districts in Karnataka. The land which is known for agriculture today has turned out to be a land of several opportunities. A lot of people come here every day keeping in mind the growth that it has to offer. Amongst them, one was Prabhakar alias Manju. A year back, he moved into Tumkur looking for an opportunity. A resident of Shantinagar, on reaching Tumkur, he decided to make ends meet by working at a construction site. He even took up small contracts to make some extra money. Well, Prabhakar had moved into the city with his wife Hema and their 1-year-old baby boy. It was 4 years since they were married and everything was just going fine for the couple. But things changed when Prabhakar's wife became pregnant for the second time. On conceiving, Hema went to her parents' house. With his wife and little boy away, Prabhakar was lonely most of the times. Now, people of Shantinagar were friendly and close to each other. They discussed each other's problems and were supportive in their troubled times. Meanwhile, Prabhakar was the neighbor of a real estate agent, Vasant Kumar, who was wealthy. He had a daughter by name Ramya, who was the talk of the town. Ramya was known because of a flamboyant lifestyle and nothing else. She was a second PU dropout and had a reputation of changing her boyfriends at the drop of a hat. Being the only daughter, she was pampered by her father. Vasant Kumar had acquired a neighboring plot and built 2 houses and rented them out so that Ramya can live a life of luxury. On the other hand, Ramya spent most of her time at home. She would also visit Prabhakar's house and play with his little kid. After a few days, Ramya became a regular visitor at Prabhakar's house. As they were new to the town, the entire neighborhood had warned Prabhakar's wife Hema about Ramya's character and had even told her not to entertain her at home. But Hema was naive. She trusted Ramya totally and therefore didn't pay heed to what the others had said. Little did poor Hema know what would be in store for her. Meanwhile, Ramya had a past that everybody was aware of in the neighborhood. Well pampered, Ramya was married to one of her relatives in Bengaluru. But Ramya had separated from her husband. Just 1 week into the marriage, she had returned to her father's house. Then on, she used to invite boys to her house on a daily basis. She didn't even care for her parents. On the other hand, Ramya's family was fed up with her and also embarrassed by her behavior.
ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದವರು ಅವ್ರ ಅಪ್ಪ ಅಮ್ಮ ಮದುವೆ ಆದಲ್ಲಿಂದನೂ ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಇರೋದು. ನಾನು ಬುದ್ಧಿ ತಿಳಿದಲ್ಲಿಂದನೂ ನೋಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಅವಳನ್ನ. ಅವಳು ಸರಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್. ಅವಳಿಗೆ ಬರೀ ಹುಡುಗರು ಹುಚ್ಚು. ಅವಳಿಗೆ. ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಮೆಸೇಜ್ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಬರೀ ಇದೇ ಕೆಲಸ ಅವಳಿಗೆ. ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಶಾಂತಿನಗರದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಸ್ತಾನಾಗಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾಳೆ. ಕಂಪ್ಲೇಂಟ್ ಆಗೈತೆ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಇದಾಗೈತೆ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಅವ್ರಿಗೂ ಎಲ್ಲ ಗಲಾಟೆ ಆಗೈತೆ. ಅವ್ರ ಅಣ್ಣನೇ ಹೋಗೆಲ್ಲ ಹಿಡ್ಕೊಂಡೆಲ್ಲ ಹೊಡೆದಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಹುಡುಗರಿಗೆ. ವಸೂಲಿ ಮಾಡೋದು, ದುಡ್ಡು ವಸೂಲಿ ಮಾಡೋದು, ತಿನ್ನೋದು, ಅವ್ರ ತಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಡ್ರೆಸ್ಸು ಅದು ಇದು ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ಯೂಮ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ತರಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು, ಬರೀ ಇದೇ ಕೆಲಸ ಅವಳದು. ಶೋಕಿ ಬೇಕಷ್ಟೇ, ಹುಡುಗರು ಬೇಕು.
But that didn't bother Ramya at all. She continued luring men and Prabhakar was her next catch. The father of the 1-year-old boy she used to play with. Firstly, Ramya took down Prabhakar's number and through SMS introduced herself. She slowly lured him and within a span of few days the couple was having an illegitimate relationship. This relationship became very evident and became a hot topic of gossip for the entire neighborhood. Seeing the gossip of his illicit affair making rounds, Prabhakar decided to put an end to it. But that wouldn't be easy for Prabhakar. Ramya was not ready to let go of Prabhakar. Though not in love, she didn't want to be away from him. So when Prabhakar decided to put an end to their relationship, Ramya decided to blackmail Prabhakar. She threatened to commit suicide and blame it on him if he didn't accept her back. Fearing the unthinkable, Prabhakar rushed to his pregnant wife and confessed about his illicit relationship. He even spoke about Ramya's threat to his relatives.
3 ತಿಂಗಳಿಂದ ನನ್ನ ಗಂಡನ ಮನೆಗೆ ಹೋಗಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಅಮ್ಮ ಮಗಳು ಸೇರಿಕೊಂಡು ನನ್ನ ಗಂಡಂಗೆ ಟಾರ್ಚರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಾನು ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಡು, ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ರೂಮ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಇರೋಣ, ನಾನು ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದೀನಿ, 15,000 ಸಂಬಳ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಸಂಬಳ ಮಾಡಿ ಜೀವನ ಮಾಡೋಣ, ನಂಗೆ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಡು, ನಂಗೆ ಗಂಡನ ಮನೆಗೆ ಹೋಗೋಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದರೆ ರೈಲ್ವೆ ಸ್ಟೇಷನ್ ಹತ್ರ ಹೋಗಿ ಸತ್ತೋಗ್ತೀನಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದರೆ ವಿಷ ತೊಗೊಂಡೋಗಿ ಸತ್ತೋಗ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ನನ್ನ ಗಂಡಂಗೆ ಟಾರ್ಚರ್ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಸರ್. ನನ್ನ ಗಂಡ ನಾನು ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿರೋದೆಲ್ಲ ದೊಡ್ಡವ್ರಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ತೋರಿಸಿ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾವಳೆ, ಏನಾದ್ರು ಮಾಡಿ ನಂಗೆ ಇರೋಕ್ಕಾಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಸತ್ತೋಗ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಬ್ಲ್ಯಾಕ್ ಮೇಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾವಳೆ, ನನಗೆ ಇರೋಕ್ಕಾಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ದೊಡ್ಡವ್ರಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ತೋರಿಸಿ ನ್ಯಾಯ ತೀರ್ಮಾನ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕುಂಡಿಸಿದ್ರು ಸರ್.
So the relatives advised the troubled man to approach the police. Accordingly, Prabhakar approached the jurisdictional police and so did Ramya. This duo accepted their mistake before the cops and promised to never repeat it again. Ramya was expected to return to her husband's house, but she didn't as she did not like him at all. Hema, on the other hand, was getting ready to deliver her second baby and was to go to her mother's house. And she advised her husband to go back to this village in Gubbi and she didn't want further complications. Last Saturday, on the 6th of July, Hema received a call from Rocky, brother of Ramya, asking Prabhakar's whereabouts. Hema replied to him that it was none of his business and cut the call. Soon after, Prabhakar called his wife stating he was on his way home. Prabhakar was expected to give his wife a call on reaching home, but that didn't happen. Even after an hour, Prabhakar failed to call her. So Hema tried to contact her husband, but the call didn't go through. So Hema retired to bed thinking he would be busy. The following day, Hema saw her phone. She had expected her husband to give a ring, but there was none. So panic-stricken, Hema rushed to her house along with some of her relatives. As soon as she opened the door of her house, she was shocked out of her wits. Prabhakar's body was hanging from the ceiling fan. Nobody knows when it happened or how it happened. Hema alleges that Ramya and her brother Iraqi have killed her husband. A case has been registered at the Tilak Park police station and investigations are underway. Meanwhile, Ramya is behind bars, but her deed has left the mother of 2 devastated. Jayana for News9, Bengaluru.